How's it going, guys? Today's reaction is Mozart versus Skrillex. There is nothing to do for trailer reactions. I'm just, ugh. And if it is, it's just the popular movies, and I'm just not doing those. It's just not worth it. If you don't know who either one of these artists are, you need to go listen to some more music. You know, Mozart is one of the most famous musical people out there in the entire world, along with Beethoven. You know, if you like classical orchestra music, Mozart or Beethoven is for you. You know, if you like Skrillex, I got nothing against Skrillex. I mean, I like one song from him. That's, I shouldn't say that. I like a couple of songs from him, but, you know, if I'm going to really listen to like anything like dubstep or techno or something like that, I usually will tend to listen to more deadmau5 than anything else. You know, because he's got some good music too. But, you know, if you like electronic music, then yeah, I highly recommend either one of them. They got good music. But a lot of people don't like electronic music because all they hear is just a bunch of noise. So, because most people would rather have, like, noise and then have, like, a person singing at the same time. Or just electronic music is just not their thing. You know, but let's check this out. That look going on there.
My name is Skrillex, man. Welcome to the devil's den. I'm a scary monster up in this Sprite and frilly pants. You're a weirdo, Wolfie. You're into powdered wigs and poo. And your cousin blew notes on your little magic flute. Daddy issues make the Jackson 5 look like the family circus. You might have been a genius, but you died broke and worthless. I'm rich, acclaimed, and famous. I'm a playlist. I'm the A-list. You're the lamest. Kiss my ass. I'm a dance.
I like the beats.
Was that a verse, or did you just get the hiccups? I'm a prodigy, sonny, and I'm about to smack a bitch up. My music is 200 years old,
well,
and it's still excellent. In 2 more months, I won't forget about your Skrillex. I can't believe the way you dress when you step out of the house. You're like an emo Steve Urkel. You reek of dead power.
Hey.
The world's greatest composer. No one knows what you
are. One of the
Except
greatest
lonely little
composers.
troll who knows how to press a space. I attack, you decay. Can't sustain my releases. Sidechain, wolf gay. Bangarang you to pieces. I'm a self-made.
Oh, you got that beat coming.
I'm a rock star. Mix it with the bass and
Nice.
global. My strobes glow like Chernobyl. Kids explode and get mobile. No one even knows you.
Ah, come on, that ain't true.
You play community theater. I gained your same fate from home on a blown out speaker. Oh yes, I've heard that EP and see I transcribed it here. Tell me what comes after the 68th measure of diarrhea? And what kind of drugs does it take to enjoy this? I've no idea. I've seen more complexity in a couch from IKEA.
Damn.
Piano to forte easy-issimo. That means soft to very, very loud. Cause I'm guessing that you didn't know. Why don't you put down your cue bass and pick up a real ball? I rocked harder than you when I was 5 years old. Oh, war!
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, if you were to literally send Skrillex back in time to Beethoven's time with electronic music, I'd have to say it probably wouldn't do very well. You know, because it's not like classical music where, you know, dubstep has different beats and drop bass and stuff like that. You know, classical music is more elegant. You're taking more time into it. It takes more practice. You're not taking just random sounds and then just throwing them into one soundtrack and then, you know, mixing them around and hope the beat sounds good. You know, yeah, I think they would have easily kicked Skrillex out. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think electronic music would have done very well back then. You know, if you managed to sneak in the technology somehow or use whatever instruments you had back then to make electronic music, you know, but that's just my personal opinion. As he was saying, he was one of the best composers. Yes, he was one of the best composers. One of the best composers, you know, like along with Beethoven and so on and so forth. You know, classical music, you know, 200 years later is still around. People still listen to it, you know, and you have dubstep. I mean, dubstep's more the younger generation, you know, who doesn't really like the rock or the hip hop, you know, and stuff like that. They just want something that just like blast their ears away. Don't get me wrong, I like a good dubstep techno soundtrack myself. You know, just crank that up and just feel the bass against your ears. You know, was it? I can't remember if it was. I want to say, was it Beethoven? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Beethoven was the one that was deaf. He learned how to play the piano. You know, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the deaf one. You know, and being deaf and still being able to make music that it just sounds wonderful. That is some serious talent. You know, in today's society, it's a little more easier because you have the technology to be able to do that. Back then, it was literally strictly talent. You either had it or you didn't. And if you didn't have it, you practiced to the point where you actually, started to get noticed. And at 5 years old, yeah, his father was abusive as hell. Makes most modern day dads today, look really nice. But beats wise, like music wise, I'd give it to Skrillex. But more lyrics wise, I give it to Mozart. And since I would prefer to listen more Mozart than I would Skrillex, I'm giving Mozart the win. I know it sounds plain favorable, but I listen to more Mozart and Beethoven than I ever do Skrillex. But that's just me. When you're grinding or you're writing out a book or you're doing some homework, some people would prefer, techno dubstep, some people prefer classical, stuff like that. It just depends on your mood. When it comes to stuff like that, I usually will just listen to Mozart or Beethoven, and kind of blocks out that writer's block, and I can just start typing and stuff like that. But that's just my personal opinion. But I'm gonna get this out for you guys, and let me know who do you think who did the best, and if you actually do listen to both of them, what's your favorite song from each one of them, and what actually attracted you to their music. Was it just their fashion, or was it just like a song they put out, you just instantly got hooked? Just leave that comment below, and I'll make sure I check them out. I'll see you guys later.